welcome to Geeks Around Blacklist discussion. I'm going to be your host today. My name is Matt Moore. This is, of course, the Blacklist discussion for episode, I have no idea, I think 106. I just found out I was hosting this literally about 15 seconds ago, so I was not prepared. We are here with Johan Phillips. Say hi, Johan.
Hello. How are you?
How are you doing today?
I'm good. Originally, I thought I was going to end up hosting it if Todd couldn't come in, but hey, I'm happy you're doing it because I was very ill-prepared.
Yeah, I figured I'd step up. And we are also joined by Charles Whedon. How are you doing, Charles?
Oh, I'm doing great. How about yourself?
Pretty good, pretty good. And last but certainly not least, we have Isaiah Mullins. How are you doing, Isaiah?
Well, doing this whole hangout, I'm still great, and the only black guy here.
All right, and just to back up a little, this was episode 106, and the name of it was, I can't pronounce, it's Gina Xanatakos, something like that. Basically, it is, we have a new person on the list, and that is a lady who does corporate espionage. How did everyone like the episode?
I like the episode.
Anyone?
Didn't like the villain, but I like the episode.
The episode was good. The show kind of started off slow for me, but this episode was definitely a high note for me. I mean, I kind of thought it was good, better than the others, especially what was going on between Elizabeth Keene and her husband.
I like that scene though. That was my favorite.
Yeah.
Yeah, yes, it was a damn good episode. Yeah, I think we're definitely getting more into the story, what's going on with her husband and everything. So I'm glad that's finally starting to happen.
Mm-hmm.
And for anyone asking, Todd Grundle is actually having computer problems. That's why I'm hosting instead of him. And I think he might be our one viewer right now. Hopefully we'll get some more. Yeah, it was actually a pretty interesting story. We got to see a little bit of the backstory for Elizabeth Keene's husband, Tom Keene. For some reason, I did not realize his last name was Keene. For some reason, I thought that she went by her maiden name, not her married name, but apparently I was wrong. It was just an assumption I made. But yeah, it was. You get a little bit of story about how he may have been duped, and how like this whole thing might be a setup, or how maybe he's just lying straight faced to the FBI. And we'll see that in the upcoming episodes. But we started, like I said, I knew that I was going to host this about a minute ago. Help me. How did we start? We started with the car.
Yeah, we started with the car and her talking to her associate.
So we get to see this nice, beautiful car get blown the fuck up.
That broke my heart.
And it was implied that the car did not have a bomb, but the car actually was a bomb, which was very cool.
Mm-hmm.
And then she asked for.
I found.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Just gonna say, I found the dialogue between Gina and the bomb maker a little stiff, personally. Like maybe it was written by a bad writer, but other than that,
yeah, I agree with that.
Cool.
It was a typical Russian bomb maker story.
Yeah,
All
pretty
right.
much stereotypical, really. But
Oh, is that Todd talking over Johan's phone?
Todd said he's sending me a picture right now.
Okay.
He said you got to be fucking kidding me.
I want to see that face so bad. It's a classic.
I don't know what that was in context of. I'm assuming it's what we said about the Russian bomb maker. Oh wait, he's calling me back right now. Todd, what was that? Why don't you tell us what that comment was about? Are you fucking kidding me? I believe it was.
I can't fucking get in because
Oh,
to show me the join button on the screen.
he said it's not letting him get in.
Let me press the damn play button.
He's having severe technical difficulties.
Like
But
permanently kind of technical difficulties.
well, we'll figure your shit out. We're talking about the show, man.
It was an awesome episode, though.
Todd said it was an awesome episode. Huh?
I can't wait for next week. I'll talk to you guys soon. I'm trying.
And we can't wait for next week. All right. He said he's trying. All right. All right. Well,
Okay.
hopefully we'll see you soon.
That's just is I found the episode was could have quite easily just been about Elizabeth Keene's husband, about Tom Keene.
Yeah.
And if they had just let it be about that, I think it would have been an even episode. But the actual, the recipe of the show is there has to be a bad guy every single episode. So I don't know. I kind of felt that might have been kind of shoved into the story.
I think it was.
Like the possible connection between Gina, what's-her-face, and Tom, and I think that might have been shoved in at the last moment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was no structure to it either. There was no strong structure that led into something that was going to be interesting or good. It was just, it dragged on way too long.
Yeah, it seemed pretty rushed in there. I don't know.
Overwhelming.
It seemed unbalanced. Yeah.
That being said, of course, I think we can all agree that it was a good episode.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah.
But right after we see the explosion, then we have the discussion between Tom and Elizabeth about where this box came from, and we pretty well predicted the fact that going to ask Elizabeth where the box came from, not the other way around. That Tom was basically going to accuse her. That was not a surprise to this particular panel, but it was still interesting to see. It was kind of cool.
Yeah, it was a predictable argument, but it was still nice to see that kind of development going along.
Well, from the way that I see it, I mean, I did not expect. To be honest, I didn't know what to expect in that whole thing. Just in the previous episode where where Elizabeth had come home and then saw Tom sitting in his chair saying, "We need to talk," and it's like I was just about to say the same thing. I did not know what to expect. I didn't know what was going to happen. I kind of thought he was going to come up with some bullshit excuse as to what's going on with that box, or he was going to deny it completely. I just didn't know what was going to happen. But when it did finally happen and he was being oblivious, he was like, "Where did this box come from?" I was like, yeah, I guess that could make sense. I mean, I guess it's a tactic, but is he being genuine about genuine about not knowing what the box is for, or is he just lying to his wife? We still don't know yet.
Yeah, and that's just it. Is very possible that at the end of this episode there is a resolution for Elizabeth Keene and possibly for Tom and maybe even for the FBI of maybe Tom is being set up. But for the viewers, it kind of leaves it open that maybe Tom really is just this good at being a bad guy.
Yeah, but my question is regarding that is, why would they waste their time trying to frame a unassuming school teacher? I mean, what would be the point behind it?
To hurt Elizabeth Keene?
Possibly, but I mean, before this whole thing with Red Reddington, she was a nobody. She was only 2-3 weeks out of Quantico. I mean, she has not built up her reputation in the FBI yet. So,
Right.
I mean, there was no reason to go after her because she hadn't made any enemies yet.
Yet.
Yeah.
Somehow Red chose her.
Well, no, that's what I'm also thinking. I mean, I think that maybe what's going on with Red choosing Elizabeth Keene is, at first, my thought was maybe he's like her father or something like that. And then they revealed to us that that she actually knew her father and that he died or disappeared. So maybe instead of him being her father, he knew her father. Maybe he'd be a good friend of her father's, or maybe even be her godfather. Who knows?
Or her uncle. My thought is her uncle.
That could be possible.
Somewhere with the family remnants, because I can see that too happening. Because his affection would be not affection for a romantic feeling, but something like a family or something genuine like that. you can see that he does care for Elizabeth. That's her name.
Elizabeth Keene, and
Elizabeth King.
the way I'm seeing it is that there is some sort of like I would say paternal feeling that Reddington has for Elizabeth. I mean, I mean, it's not like obvious, but it's subtle. But I've been able to notice it a few times. Like there has been a couple of times, like with what was his name, the stew maker. Elizabeth Keene was going to be killed by the stew maker, and Reddington pretty much bashed him over the head with I think it was a frying pan, or it could have been something else, I don't know. And then he tied him up and put him on the bathtub where that acid was. But instead of letting the guy go, he tossed him in the tub with the acid, killing him. And I think that was sort of like a parent protecting his young, kind of like something like that.
Okay, right. No, yeah, he definitely has a strong
Attachment.
strong feeling of protection for Elizabeth Keene.
Yeah, like he said, he gave her that advice about her husband. It was like to me that was like a fatherly tone, or
For sure.
romantic tone.
Yeah.
It was like he was telling her some advice or something like that.
Yeah, he's definitely very protective of her, and he's trying to help her, but he won't give her all the facts. He's making her do a lot of the work herself, which, it makes it hard for her to trust him.
Yeah.
So he's I think he might be fucking himself a little bit with being the whole mysterious thing. Then again, that is what this whole show is basically, built on, but still.
And a theory I have, and I know we're way early for wild speculation, but is my thought is her connection to Elizabeth Keene may be the same connection that he has that other guy, whom they didn't identify from last week, the one of who he said that he shared an adversary with. Maybe Elizabeth Keene shares that same adversary, just Elizabeth Keene doesn't know it yet. Maybe there is no family connection. Maybe it's just a common enemy.
Maybe.
And Elizabeth Keene doesn't realize.
Are you talking?
I'm thinking that this adversary may have killed her father.
Are you talking about the guy that lives across the street and eats the apples?
Yeah.
No.
What about
no,
it? Oh, no.
Elizabeth Keene was talking to some guy, or sorry, not Elizabeth Keene. Reddington was talking to some guy, and we had the theory that maybe he was working for this guy or whatever. But he refers to, or he tells him that he refers to a common adversary, like a main goal, like what they're going after specifically. And I believe it was the end of the last episode. And my thought is maybe they all share the same adversary.
Maybe.
Probably, but that's kind of, to me, that's kind of like a little flimsy because he can't. I don't know why he chose her because she's not like Charles says. She's not up with the rank. She's not really. I mean, she is skilled, but not. How can I put in a better term? She's not heavily skilled as the rest of the FBI agents out there.
She's not as seasoned as the other agents.
Right.
She's still somewhat of a rookie. Even though she's experienced more in like a month than any rookie has in like a couple of years.
Right.
Well, we can assume it's probably been at least 3 months because it's been 6 episodes, and each of those episodes takes place over a week, and you have to assume that they're not talking every single freaking day.
Oh yeah, that's true.
So we're probably looking at like 3 to 5 months.
Okay. Well,
No yawning on live.
Ah.
But
can't help.
I mean, that's just a theory, but
Yeah.
let me see. Oh yeah, and then Red says that Red is explaining who Gina is, and he describes Gina as Tom's lover.
Yeah.
Which is rather strange because that and the picture are the only two things that point to that particular possibility. Otherwise, that's just literally just a crazy thought out of left field.
Yeah, I thought that was kind of bullshit because there was no really solid evidence besides the picture, and which were kind of like it was like a half and half. Like it could be true, but at the same time, usually like that's kind of bullshit because it just seems like a far stretch to mess up her life, a far stretch.
And that's just it. Is that picture actually kind of bothered me because that picture had Tom like all the way off to the side of the picture, and like he was way over here, and then there was an arm around him.
Which I can only assume was Elizabeth's arm.
Right.
That might have been a picture taken of them when they were on their trip at Boston, and I think whoever is framing them, like framing Tom, probably enlarged the picture to focus solely on Tom, then move Tom to the side so that he's only in the picture, and just planted it. Which I think just the whole setup on that I think was just obvious.
It was too obvious. Like that was so weak and obvious. Like really, you could have done a little bit better, like some recordings or something.
Yeah, I mean,
when you take a picture, you don't focus to the right of your subject. You focus on the subject, and obviously that picture, the middle of the picture, had nothing in it except background.
Right.
So that obviously was a cropped photo or something.
A decoy. It was pretty much a decoy. Just to mess up the Elizabeth or FBI in that situation. It was interviewing this motherfucker for like I don't know how long, about the whole hour. Like he don't got nothing, which I kind of believe. Like he don't got nothing.
I had assumed in this episode they were interviewing that guy for days. I mean, because the woman who was interviewing him left, did some investigative work, came back and interviewed him more.
I think it was just hours because they had a time schedule here.
And on the subject of that interrogation, that woman who was interviewing Tom or interrogating him, she's a seasoned CIA agent. They're like experts in interrogation. So if she wasn't able to break Tom in whatever he's hiding, then I don't think he's hiding anything. So I think it's pretty clear that he's being set up after that interrogation.
Yeah, but they weren't necessarily trying to break him.
No, it's just she was using like regular, like I don't know what the phrase is, but just basic CIA interrogation techniques. So I think
good cop, bad cop.
Yeah, so I mean, I think that if she wasn't able to get at the information, one of two things would have gone on. He was trained to resist CIA interrogation techniques, or he's innocent and he's being set up. Which either one is like 50-50 chance of becoming likely.
Yeah, I found that actually kind of interesting. One of the techniques that I recognized was she distracted him in the discussion. Like she starts talking to him about what he was doing there, and or sorry, about the interview, and then she totally changes gears and starts talking about, well, that's one hell of a coincidence. I mean, she just changed gears. Like it doesn't sound like she did, but she changed gears in the middle of the discussion, and I could see how that could throw someone off their game.
Also, this also proves that Tom is very stupid, very, very stupid. Like, you don't do your research before going to an interview. I mean, dude, come on. I'm just serious. I'm just saying, like, when you go to an interview, you must do your research on a person or something before you go there.
Well, I just want to point out that Todd has said in multiple forums now that the arm in the picture could have been someone in a SpongeBob outfit.
Well, she seemed.
Comments.
Well, Todd also said that she seemed to know him, and he thinks that she may have something to do with the overall conspiracy.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe.
As Elizabeth Keene eventually came to realize that she had seen Gina somewhere.
Oh,
right.
Okay.
Yeah, because we saw it like, oh, that's her right there. So this whole Tom and what's her face plot is kind of pointless now. It's like, oh, so we're just gonna throw it out the window now, pretty much.
Well, that's just it. If she realizes that she remembers Gina from Boston, from being in that job interview, then all of a sudden we're back on the Tom is having an affair again. I mean, that would back up the idea that maybe Tom and her were having an affair.
Yeah, but to me that would seem like, why would a super highly tactical spy sleep with a nerdy / stupid guy?
Well, that's just it. Is you're assuming that he is just a super nerdy guy. I think that he may have a secret. Maybe he's CIA. Maybe he's the Russian intelligence officer
Probably.
that came over to the other side that they were talking about earlier.
Maybe so, because he's really good. If he's one of the Russians, he's really good. Then he's really good.
Yeah, maybe he's KGB. Sorry.
You're good. You're sleeper cell.
Well,
Yeah, exactly.
that would be cool if the KGB still existed.
Oh yeah, that's true. They don't exist anymore.
It's gonna be a
Well,
different-
that took my mind. Sorry. I'm pretty tired right now.
Yeah.
The KGB only wants you to think they don't exist anymore.
Oh yeah, that's
They're
hey,
that
maybe.
good.
Yeah.
That's all we need. Some KGB talk. Oh, God. All we need is Vladimir Putin.
No, maybe that's it. Maybe he's part of the secret KGB that
Well, we're the secret KGB. The KGB you would know enough ain't got nothing on us.
That's right.
See, folks, this is what we talk about all day. KGB and Vladimir Putin. All day, every day.
Putin doesn't even know about this shit. No.
Not yet.
So let's see. Red wants to meet with Director Cooper to get Liz back into the game because Liz had been released because of this whole Tom thing, and apparently, like he had the juice to do it. Basically, pulling this Gina chick out of the air got Elizabeth back in the game.
Mm-hmm.
Which I don't know. I found kind of hinky. I would think that under no circumstances whatsoever, would the FBI reinstate someone they had just taken off the case, if that to work on a case that has to do with her husband.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's at least 2 shades of wrong right there.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, in a real world scenario, I mean, if they release someone from a case because she was too close to it, it was too personal, which is the proper thing to do in those situations. But if an asset like Reddington would say, like, I'm not going to work with you, I'm not going to help you until you bring her back, they're going to be like, bye. I mean, they're not gonna do that. They're not gonna toss protocol out the window just because one asset said, hey, I'm only going to work with her.
Unless it was something severe, though. Unless it was something that was very
like
severe.
if it was terrorism, then maybe. But they would, if they did bring her back, they would keep like a very close eye on her, like the eye of Sauron on her. Yeah.
Wow, Lord of the Rings reference.
Yes.
Hi,
That was a pretty geeky reference. I applaud you,
was.
sir. I applaud you.
yes. Good job. For once.
But
Take
yeah,
a bow.
so they end up raiding that hotel of that dude. I don't know how. I missed how they found the address for that.
Yeah, same here. I did, too.
And then dude was already dead because she clipped him. I don't know what kind of weapon she used. That was kind of weird.
I don't know. It was something like a poison.
Yeah, it had to be a poison, but it didn't even look like that she got through his skin, but apparently she did.
It was shield technology. That's what happened. That was shield technology.
Oh, okay. That must be it. And
That explains
we'll be
everything.
talking about that technology in a week and 1 day, because Shield isn't happening this week.
It's a truth serum, but in reverse.
Yes. It makes you strip for Sky. Like if you see Sky, you have to take off your clothes. Sorry, that was a Shield reference. I apologize, folks. So yeah, now they're looking for Gina. Max, who's the bomb maker, ends up like giving up where Gina can be hidden. They end up chasing her down.
Before we go to that one, should we talk about the elevator fight scene?
The fight scene with Gina and the FBI agent?
Yeah, that was kind of funny in my book.
I think that's where we were about to go.
Oh, no, you say
Yeah,
you chase?
That was pretty funny because she was hiding behind all those like teeny boppers,
Yeah.
and he didn't even see her in the elevator.
It was amazing.
That
And
was
then when
pretty
they all
funny.
left, and then when they all left, she's all like, "Shit, he's still here."
Yeah, he got his ass. He got his ass beat though. Like, man,
She went and whooped his ass.
ooh man. She put him to sleep too. Like,
Now,
go to sleep,
now
go to
this,
sleep.
yeah, this show takes a lot of liberties with reality, but that is actually something I found to be a bit more realistic than most shows have done. Like
Right.
when she knocked him out, he was out for less than a minute. And that is
Right.
much more in line than most TV shows do. Because if you knock someone out by hitting them over the head in, say, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. or Dexter or any other show out there, that person is out for hours.
Yeah.
But that's not how it works. Like your brain resets, and a lot of times you'll be up like that, so long as you're not drugged.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that was a pretty cool close quarters fight. The camera, however, zoomed in so much that we didn't actually get to see a lot of action. We just saw a lot of moving arms.
Yeah, too much close work. It needs to be a little bit more spaced out.
Yeah, I mean, I did notice that, and I will say this, and this is probably just me nitpicking, but the choreography that took place in the fight scene in the elevator just seemed a bit off to me. I mean, it didn't seem very fluid. I mean, I guess that could have something to do because of how closed in it was. It's kind of difficult to do a fight scene in like a metal box, but I just thought the choreography for the fight was just a little off. But I'm done nitpicking, so let's move on.
My nitpick comes at the end of the fight scene with Gina and Elizabeth. I didn't like that fight scene, but anyways, that's a different story.
Yeah.
Let's continue.
And Todd agrees that the shots were too close to see any real action.
Mm-hmm.
At least he said, I thought the same thing, and I'm assuming that that's what he was referring to. And if it's not what he's referring to, that's his own damn fault for not being in the hangout. Yeah, that's right, bitch.
Actually, so much revenge come after this.
Ooh, he's gonna need some ice for that burn.
Wow, really? Wow. Anyways.
But yeah, then they end up finding Gina a second time, and then end up shooting her two times in the shoulder, which somehow makes it where she's no longer an asset and can't talk anymore.
Oh my goodness! Did anyone else notice how he shot her and she had a 3-second pause? Like, he just shot you. You should be falling back or something. Like, he shot her and then she had a 3-second pause. Like, oh wait, I should fall down now. Oh.
That's like bang, bang, huh? Oh, that's right. I gotta lay back.
Right.
I missed that, but I will actually check it out and see if I can. Man,
it's very quick though. When he shot her at blank range, and it was like nothing hurt her. Like oh, nothing hurt me. And then 3 seconds passed. Like, oh, I have to fall down now. Oh. That's why I didn't like that fight scene. It was just so. I think it was the editing or something about the whole. It was something about that. It just sucked.
And then Liz is all pissed off that they ended up shooting her, and then they magically use their super deducing skills to realize that the bomb is in Houston.
Yeah, that was before. That's before they drilled her husband over a couple more hours. Like, where's the bomb? Where's the bomb? I don't know what the bomb is. I don't know. And that lasted like, oh my god, he gets it. He doesn't know where the bomb is.
No, I'm pretty sure he knows.
Yeah, where's the bomb?
Where's the bomb? I don't know. Ask Todd. He might know. That's why he's not here.
Darn it! You had to say a funny answer. I was going to ask you for like the next 20 minutes. Bomb was.
While he goes.
But yeah, they decide that it's in Houston, and of course they're checking cargo containers. They're like searching all over the place, and they're not looking in the obvious place, which is in the frickin' cars.
Right.
We know that this bomb maker puts bombs in cars.
Yeah.
No, they never put them in
the
cars.
bomb maker.
They never put them in cars, Matt. Never.
Except
conspiracy.
Except in this case.
Yes.
So they're
This is the
searching
one
cargo
time.
containers when they should have been searching cars.
I'd never seen that in a movie or a show before. No.
Yeah.
I was gonna say like I I understand that car go, but car go is not the same as cargo.
You crazy. But how they got rid of the bomb was kind of cool and kind of silly at the same time. Like, oh, right, we're gonna draw off in the water, but we could have left it in the container and let it blow up in the water.
Oh, and that's another thing. They had
drove
this huge long pier. They had this huge long pier in like 45 seconds to get down this huge long pier. So they drove all the way down the pier to drop it in the water when they could have gone whoop, whoop, plop. They could have had it in the ocean like 3 seconds later. But no, they had to go all the way down the pier first.
They could have
after
in
the explosion. And after the explosion, did you notice that really cheap-looking CGI water effect?
Yeah.
With like,
wasn't it a nuclear explosion, by the way? It was like a nuclear or something like that.
It was a dirty bomb.
Yeah, it was supposed to be.
Well, so they kind of poisoned the water.
It was a terrible CGI bomb.
Yeah, they just poisoned the fish there. Like, wow.
Yeah, but
it absolutely would have poisoned the water, but poisoned water is a lot easier to clean up than poisoned air.
That is true.
Yeah.
They could have kept it in the container. Like, you could have kept it in the container and just let a cargo put it in the ocean. Like, here you go, let's put it in the ocean. We got the tools. Oh, we just want to outstretch this bitch? Okay, we're just gonna. Okay.
No, but they couldn't even get like an actual effect to make the water actually blow up. It had to be CGI. I mean, I thought they were given a good enough budget for this fucking show.
They don't do enough practical effects anymore, the bastards. Who gives a shit about CG?
They really don't, and it saddens me greatly. It saddens me greatly. Anyway, I mean, when I heard that there was a fucking CGI baby in Twilight, I was like, oh god, it's all over now.
CGI is everywhere.
CGI baby in Twilight.
Oh, you seen that movie? Oh god.
No, I have not. That's why I didn't know.
Yeah, no, I never seen it. I just heard that there was a CGI baby for no reason. What?
Excuses. We know you want
it. Hey, I'm not judging.
No.
I'm not judging. That's
however many books. What? 5 books? 6 books?
Well,
no.
It depends now. Because they got the alien crap and they got the vampire crap. Zombie crap or supernatural crap, whatever you want to call it. It's the same bull crap as before.
So,
a lot of hate now.
Huh? I'm sorry,
so now we have Elizabeth walking up to Red, and she's all pissed off at Red, and she's all like, "Fuck you, fuck you, fuck you." I'm out.
Like you set this up, Red. You said they put that picture in my You put that picture in that box where her room is, and blah 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 blah. And thing like, why did you do that? And he was in his room the whole time. No, like he can't leave that room at time. So. It just boggled my mind.
Just because Red Reddington did it doesn't mean that he did it personally. He could have had someone else do it. Reddington is very resourceful.
Yeah, but it would make it. But when I watched the show, I don't think that would be in his play though. It wouldn't be his game, like to pretty much mess up her marriage or anything like that area. Like it doesn't gain nothing for him. But that's
something we ended up seeing is right after that scene, we saw the people who were monitoring the house, who are a bunch of pervs, by the way, apparently, because they were talking. Oh, we get to see the makeup sex. Who apparently is not monitoring her, but they're monitoring him. And the only thing that they've determined is that he does not work for Red Reddington. Which I found kind of interesting that she is not the target. He is. So, yeah.
It might be.
Did you guys catch that they were like, yeah, the only thing you know is he doesn't work for Red?
Yeah, I did notice that.
Oh, sorry.
But, just when the guy with the apple and the surveillance guy, when they first showed up, I didn't know what they were doing, but then when they first set up their surveillance equipment, I thought that they were watching Elizabeth Keene because of her connection to Reddington, because I knew the only reason why they were going to show up across the street was in order to get involved with what's going on with Reddington. But when they revealed themselves to be surveilling Tom instead of Elizabeth, I was like, wait a minute, then who are these guys? And who does he work for? Who does Tom work for? I'm like, what the hell is going on here? I just thought it was interesting. I didn't really see it coming. I knew they were there for a reason. I just thought that reason was Elizabeth, not Tom. But now I'm interested to see how this is going to play out.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, it was definitely a big moment.
Yeah, they need a better
Yeah.
villain though, or something to do with the villain department, because I didn't like that villain that much.
Yeah, I think.
Sorry, I was going to say Todd put up another comment, so I'm speaking for him. He said that Johann Phillips loves Twilight and he cried at the end.
That is not true. That is a dirty lie. That's
like the dirty CGI
lie.
I saw.
Yeah, and I'm gonna say this right now, that the guy that likes to eat the apples when he surveys those people, I'm just gonna call him Apples from now on. His name from henceforth is called Apples.
What about Steve Jobs? You call him Steve Jobs?
No.
We'll call him Jobs.
Steve. Oh, that's who it is. This whole time it was Steve Jobs, and we thought he was dead.
Oh, he's back from the grave.
Call him Jobs. Zombie Jobs.
Yes.
Zombie Steve Jobs. Zombie
Trying
Steve
to eat the
Jobs.
droid brains.
Behind all of this. He's behind all of this. He's
Exactly.
the mastermind.
So it's Bob Stuckey.
Behind all of this.
Bob Stuckey's behind all of this.
I knew it! Wow.
So do we have any wild speculations that don't have to do with zombies?
Bob Stuckey.
But no, that honestly would be probably the most, I think the most ballsy, one of the most ballsiest like moves that the show could make. I mean, think about it. That's like the one thing you would never suspect, a zombie Steve Jobs. I mean, come on. No one would see that coming. No one.
We already have a zombie Steve Jobs. It's Ashton Kutcher.
Oh, yeah. Oh, okay, speculation.
Watch the movie Jobs.
Oh.
Yeah,
But
don't watch that movie.
But he doesn't
Not
have
watch
to be
that
like
movie. It sucks.
maybe he could be like a reanimator zombie, like like he gets shot up with that serum.
Oh, it'd be like
That's my
Weekend
life.
with Steve.
Yeah,
Or Weekend with Jobs.
Now we go. Now that should be a movie.
Okay, you said speculations. Ooh,
Yes,
man.
speculations that don't have to do with zombies.
All right, well.
I know I'm limiting you here, but
Oh yeah. No, if I can't do anything with zombies, then there's nothing I can do at all. I'm done.
Well, my
Stone shows up and beats out of Elizabeth Keene, I'm sure.
you go ahead.
No, go ahead, Isaiah. I'm sorry.
I would say my speculations is Apples, which is Charles's name, is on that list where Red is taken out, because maybe Red plays a big part in this whole scheme of things. Maybe he's one of the worst, and Red must stop him in some way before Apples gets him, because you never know. It might be a bit of war between these two, Apples and Red. Red Apple, Candy Apple.
Steve Jobs.
God damn it.
So, the adversary is the one who is watching Elizabeth Keene's house. Is that true? Whoever this adversary is.
I think Apples is he may not be the adversary, but he might be working for the adversary. Yes.
Okay.
But an old series. Oh, sorry, man.
I was gonna say, how many of you have watched Sleepy Hollow?
I watch that show religiously. I watch it every night.
So,
I have yet to
we
watch
know
it.
Sleepy Hollow.
Everybody says it's
guy
awesome.
Is one of the horsemen of the apocalypse. Basically.
What?
Oh yeah. The main bad guy is Death.
No, he's not. He's the second.
So they have the whole thing with the four horsemen of the apocalypse in it.
Absolutely. Yes.
Oh man, I gotta watch the show now. Oh,
yes, it is an awesome show.
I gotta watch this show.
Like White on Rice.
Show.
I gotta watch the show.
The reason I mention this is because what if we are actually watching a supernatural show and we don't know it yet? What if the adversary is the adversary? Big T, big A. What if it's the fucking devil?
Hey,
No.
right there.
Maybe,
that would be cool.
I think, yeah, as cool as that would be, because I get it, the whole thing with the apple, that would be cool. But
I
don't
got
see it.
one word for you. One.
Okay.
Emmys.
What? What was that?
Emmys.
Oh, Emmys.
Wouldn't that be awesome if like halfway or 3/4 through the first season where we all of a sudden get introduced to the idea of, oh, by the way, the adversary is actually the devil. Devil like shows up in the show.
Like Reddington walks into this room and then he sees his adversary. It's like, oh, it's you. Yes, Red. It is I, the devil.
Dun 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 dun.
Bum bum bum. Oh, I bet the audience are saying, "What the fuck is going on here?" We don't know.
But in all seriousness, I think the whole Apple thing will become very key sooner or later
I'm
in the
actually
show.
a little bit offended because of the fact that I actually am being serious. I actually think that this is a possibility.
That would be cool. I'm not saying it wouldn't be cool, but I don't know. I don't know if this show's gonna go the supernatural route.
I think the Blacklist just feels like a case by case, like every episode's a new case. That's what it feels like to me. It's not going to be supernatural. It's not.
It's based.
It's not. It's too serious.
It's based in a cartoonish reality.
Yeah, but
like Homeland.
But if they do decide to put that whole scene where Reddington walks into a room and sees the devil and he does all that, I'm like, holy shit. And I fall on the floor holding my side, laughing my ass off.
And I want to see Al Pacino again.
Yes, Al Pacino was a great devil. Devil's Advocate. Great movie.
Anybody here ever watch Reaper?
Yes,
Nope.
I love Reaper.
Nope,
Ray
never
Wise.
got into it.
Ray Wise was fucking awesome as the devil.
Yeah, it was pretty funny.
Yeah.
All right, does anyone have anything else? Because I'm going to wrap up.
Nope,
Well,
no speculation on my part.
Steve Jobs zombie. I'll take that, but no, I got nothing.
I'm with Isaiah on that one, 100% all the way.
Yeah, we all got love for that zombie Steve Jobs.
I have love for him. I'm really like, oh, I better shut up now for the Apple thing get me.
Hey, the show is pretty far
everyone
from
make sure to check us out, geeksoftheround.com, youtube.com/geeksoftheround. Right now, geeksoftheround.com itself is down, so just check us out, Google+, search for Geeks of the Round, and you can find the same page. Don't worry, I'll get the actual URL to work again. I don't know what's going on there. Also, check out my YouTube channel at Nobody, Nobodey, Diano's at Evo Anubis, EVOANUBIS. But please, please, please subscribe to the Geeks of the Round YouTube channel, because that is where all of our content is going from now on. And then that way you won't miss anything. Anyone else want to pimp anything out?
Nope, not for right now.
Nope,
okay.
not right now.
Everyone have a great night, have a great week, and we'll see you next time. We're doing Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. next Wednesday because there is no show this week. Walking Dead on Monday, and of course Blacklist happens every Tuesday. So see you next time.